I always like to ask people this question, like, how are you? Are you happy? But like, I don't want you to just answer the question of like, yeah, I am happy or whatever. Like, on a real life one, like how is life for you now?
I'm definitely happy. You know, my family, my kids, because it's not even about me no more, right? Like, I done did everything, even though I'm just now starting, right? Like, I feel like I'm just now starting, even with everything I've done already, right? But that's just the drive that I get from my family, friends, and just like the energy of knowing who I am. You know, even like, especially like coming back from ancient Kemet, Egypt, and just resetting the whole tone of what's like, what's happiness and not, you know, from an educational standpoint, spiritual standpoint, physical standpoint. And I think the key to happiness is like not accepting things that you don't vibe with, right? Most people don't know how to not accept things that they don't vibe with. So they have people around them that they're not happy with. They have situations that they're not happy with. You just surrounding yourself with things that you're not happy with, of course you're not going to be happy. For me, if it's a negative vibe or if I'm not feeling it, I can't have it around me, right? Because if I'm not happy and my kids not happy, then it's just a domino effect. And who they interact with is not, right? And so like, but like, happiness is not really based on the currency to me. It's never been. And even if anyone base happiness off of currency, it's temporary because money comes and goes, right? And so like, I only do things I love doing. Like, it could be money involved. It could be the biggest situation. Like, oh, this is gonna do this. But if I don't like this person or if I don't like the vibe, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know I'm not gonna be happy. Before I was entering into situations not being happy because I wasn't knowledgeable that I wasn't going to be happy. Because in the beginning, the entry point, it's all flowers and it comes off like, oh, this is going to be that, this is going to be this. Then you walk in there and it's like a hell. Like, it's like, man, like I don't ever want to do this again. Right? So you have to know how to gauge your happiness. Like, people think they're happy, but they're not happy. Right?
It's interesting as well.
I was saying, my dad used to call that the beauty of a rose. He'd be like, a rose looks so beautiful until you touch the thorn. And then you're like, oh, fuck the rose, cuz. Man's bleeding.
But one thing I also hear, like, from people that are, what you would say successful is that, or some people anyway, is that, you know, you work your life and you do all of these things and make a lot of sacrifices to get to a certain place, thinking it's going to be a certain thing, only to get there to realize that it isn't all what you thought it was.
Facts.
You know?
It's all bullshit, to be honest. Everything, right? The thing that makes it not bullshit is you being educated enough to know how to differentiate the bullshit. But it's all bullshit. It's all meant to set up for us not to win, from music to art to you name it, right? So the ones that survive, that means they actually took time out to be knowledgeable on how to survive, right? So even growing up in the hood is bullshit. Like, you're born in this particular setting that is guaranteed almost for you not to win. And now to get out of that maze, you have to like be smart enough to try to figure out that way. It's like that in every situation for us, if you really look at it, right? Which is the reason why I went back to school in my 30s.
Yeah,
because like, you know, you always have to be sharpen your pencil and be educated on the different things that you want to change in your life.
Yeah.
But it's all bullshit. I'm not going to sit here and tell people, oh, you know, the industry, fuck the industry, fuck all that shit. It's all bullshit. And it provided me a lifestyle and a career, but I had to figure it out, and I'm still figuring it out during the way of it. So I'm not holding up a trophy, right, for it, because like, if you really know the rules and you really know the breakdown, it's like, even the money that you have to recoup at the interest rate is criminal to a regular bank, right? So like,
fucking hell,
it's all bullshit. So I just encourage people to, you know, we have to do something to survive at certain points. So you engage, but it's up to us to like get where we need to go. But it's also our responsibility to graduate to the next level and not do the same thing you did 10 years ago when you were sacrificing. Like, it's like sacrifice in the beginning if you have to feed your family. But what point after that you go out there and don't sacrifice and actually do real business and get and break out of that mold, right? And so like that's what I had to do that for years.
Yes, man. I feel like for me as well, I was in that same mindset as you, where there was a time where like I'm going out and I'm doing certain things or whatever and I'm not happy. I didn't know how to articulate why I wasn't happy, but some of the people that I was around, some of the things that I was doing or whatever was making me feel that way. But I think over like a period of time, especially like we've been doing this for 4 years, yeah. And 4 years is mad when I think about that as well. But like sometimes I use elements of this where I can just kind of talk about things that go through my mind, and because I feel like I'm a bit more on a elements of me as a bit more on a self-discovery thing, and just trying to find myself and be a bit more self-aware, because all of the things that I at one point placed or deemed as happiness and thought, like I need this and I need that or whatever. Yeah. When I started to see like some of my close people around me get some of that, I thought, and seeing what they were going through as well, I'm like, yo, this isn't all what I thought it actually was. I'm seeing people go through all types of things in their mind and questioning their life, but also having mad success at the same time. It's like one of the most weird things.
Yeah, that's so true.
But true. But it's on all levels, right? Like I know billionaires that I call them poor kings, right? Because they have everything, but they don't have nothing. They don't have anything. They have the yacht, the airplanes, but they don't have no family. It's just like, how can you be so wealthy and so poor at the same time, right? So it's all levels of the happiness. Like people think the currency is like, oh, you could say that because you're successful already. No, man. Like I seen people that's 1 billion times more successful than me, 1 billion times less happy than me, and 1 billion times less happy than people that I've seen in Africa, people I've seen in real serious situations, right? And it's just like, how does that work, right? Because we just base our mindset like on the wrong things. Like what is, after a certain point of where you get money, right? It all becomes the same thing. So that's not going to feed you only but for so long. Or like, it's like once you get past a certain point financially, it's just money, right? It's not even a thing. It's not even something you think about once you get past that level, right? Now, once you get past that level, that's when the danger starts, because you have the access now, right? You have the access to the drugs, to the women, to the,
bare distractions.
Yeah, super things. And you just start getting bored because it's just money and you don't know what to do with it. And it's just like, you done bought your house, you done did this, and you just have money, right? So like, now what? Now you're in the house like, man, I done everything. Like, man, like what else? Then you just start doing stupid shit, right? So that's why you see most people on drugs, right? Like after success.
Yeah.
Or you see even artists that, look, how you gonna be a gangster, right? And nobody in the hood never knew you. But when you become a musician, now you a gangster. I never understood that part.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Like all of the gangsters I know, when you got in that opportunity, you ran away from that.
Yeah.
Right? You don't run towards jail and and different things like that if you're smart.
Yeah.
Like we did what we did in the streets to get out of it and away from it. Yeah. You don't do music to become a gangster.
Of course.
Like, that's just backwards thinking.
Of course. That's so real as well, because I feel like enough of the road man that I know, like, although they were living a certain type of lifestyle and things were going on and certain things was happening or whatnot, a lot of them were more on a thing of, if I can get out of this place, then I'm out of here. Did you see what Giggs put up on his Instagram a couple of weeks ago? He was saying the same thing. He was like, man ain't just trying to just hang out in the hood. Like, do you know how long it took me to get out of here? Like, obviously, if I need to go there and I need to go and check my brethren or I need to go and do something, I'm going to go and do that. And I'm going to go and, you know what I mean, might drop a little thing on somebody or whatnot. But to be there and hang there every day and just be on the block, man ain't trying to do that. But then it's like, you get some people that have not even really been of that. They come out and they lick the music thing, and then all of a sudden, they're the most gangsterist done in the world.
But the killer is so much. You don't need to be a gangster.
That's the insecurity.
Massive insecurity, man. And you don't even need to be a gangster to know that you don't want to go back to the hood. I've grown up in the hood. I'm nowhere near a gangster. And I can tell you, the things I was exposed to as a very young child, I don't want my kids to go through that. They cannot go through that because, like Swizz says, it's designed for you to fail anyway. So there's no guarantee that the teachings that I will give my children, if they grow in that environment, will be what I want them to be or be what they want themselves to be because of the amount of distractions. Bruv, it is, like, growing up in Tottenham was hell. It was fucking hell, fam. The moment I had the opportunity to leave, big man, I took my ticket. I haven't gone too far, but I'm far enough to know I don't need to go back, fam. It's not, there's white people in my area. They smell marijuana. They are phoning the police. I'm like, I hate you now, but I appreciate you later. I don't want to go back to sirens. Is just something you hear. I hear birds and I'm happy. And that's how it has to remain, fam. So
the goal is to get out the war zone.
Get out.
And encourage others to do the same.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Like, that's the whole point. But for me to say, like, I hang in my hood all day is just, it's not gonna work. It's just not. It's too tempting every day, right? So I'm there. What am I gonna do? Lace up my hood apartment, and pull up, and pull up, and stun on the hood that don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be a trophy in front of them every day of something that they don't have yet. That's gonna be a war. Like, I can't. I gotta, like, help and encourage from afar because you know the rules, right? I know the rules. Like, I'm not somebody gonna try their hand one day,
definitely,
and it's gonna jump off, and it's gonna be a demotion, and that's not what we're doing this for.
Of course,
the real success
you don't come that far to go all the way back and have to be in some big passer.
No, I think the real success is going back and just trying to empower everyone in your hood so they can do the same as you. Surely that will give you that real sense of accomplishment where you go back to your hood, and we can all go back because we've all moved out and we've all gone back just to look and reflect. Like, that is my dream. Everyone in my estate of Ferry Lane gets out, we get something so sick, so when we go back we can build a local youth club or all the things that we never had when we were young, just so we don't have to worry about our estate or our village, or we call it our village, having to go through all the nonsense that we went through. And we weren't even in the thick of it, if we're honest. We weren't even in the fire. The fire was like where Wretch was from. Like, that was fire, that was flames. How he got out, I don't know, fam. I commend him so much. Like, the thick of it, when you take a look at where Heady Ones come from, that is hell on earth, cuz. That is hell. When the bus changed the route to go through Broadwater Farm, I had to phone up the bus service, like, why? Like, we were doing so well. It was just like driving past, them, like, zoos where the animals are over there, and you're like, hi, now we're going to go through and talk to the lions? Like, who thought of this? Yeah.
I want to ask you, because I can hear him in my ear right now. We got a lot of young listeners and a lot of young viewers, and I feel like I can hear people saying, like, who is Swizz? What does he do? And when I was putting a couple of my notes together, I was thinking, this is mad because obviously I've been watching you pretty much my whole life,
Crazy.
And then it made me also realize that, like, there's another new demographic. Like, it took me back to a time actually, where Tim Westwood had Soulja Boy on Radio 1 when he was on his show, And Tim Westwood asked him, he was like, who do you look up to? Who's your legends or whatever? And Soulja Boy turned around and he said, my legend is 50 Cent. And at that time, everybody was like, what? How can your legend be 50 Cent? And not taking into account his age and, who he grew up on or whatever. They're just thinking in their mind, he has to say Biggie, Tupac and all of these type of things, So then you have that. You have the understanding that, like, they are grown up on a certain thing. But then you've got, like, a new generation, Now, you being someone who is, I don't know how you see yourself or whatever, but we all know you as an absolute legend in this game, bro. Like an absolute legend in this game.
Thank you.
There's like a whole new demographic of young kids that are not necessarily so much aware. Now, for a majority of your life, being the guy that you are and people knowing who you are and what you come from or whatever, like, how does it almost feel to now almost not necessarily work in a field where it's that, but so much be in a game where there's like a whole new demographic of people where you could walk in a room and they might not necessarily know what man do?
I'm fine with it. I've been through it a bunch of times already, right? I started in '98, produced Uproar in 2018, right? So I've seen all of those different changes of hands a bunch of times. And it's even to my point where I said today, I'm like, yo, I'm just starting, right? Like people, like there's a audience that's just now knowing me for Uproar. But what happens is once they hear that, they do research and tag everything else. Yeah. I remember one point people just the audience just knew me for doing Bring 'Em Out for T.I.
Yeah, that was
they
so
didn't
bad.
know the songs before that. Right? So for me, I love having to reinvent myself and challenge myself with the new audience and different things like that. Like I'm not cool with just the old things that I've done already because I've done them already. Right? So my goal is to be like in my kids' top 5.
I hear you.
Right? As producing and period. Right? And so like when I say I'm just starting again, people are gonna see like what I'm about to do and how I'm gonna really come back and terrorize this shit in a positive way, musically, right? Because it's what I do. And like for me to go on, like with my album Poison, that was like unfinished business, right? I wanted to come back and then put more of the lyricism back in effect, just to balance the scale of what was out there. And then I wanted to give people my core sound from what they know me for, and show them the difference between a producer and a beat maker. You know, and put Young Thug on a DMX beat or have Nas actually go back to storytelling, you know, very curated work that I did on that project. And I took the risk to not compromise the sonic and the lyricism on that product. Anything that felt like a pop crossover, big hit, I took it off the record, right? But I made it more about like authentic hip hop. Now from this point on, it's gonna be different vibes. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be different vibes in a good way, and it's just people to get to know who I am, and I like that it's still a discovery, right? Because if people have you figured out, and it's like, oh, that's just that, then there's nothing to discover. But the fact that I can pop up and then have 10 songs before you know it from all the artists that you like, but making them do things you never heard them do before. That's what I'm bringing.
The Wayne, you know, I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. Yeah, what's the difference between a producer and a beat maker? Me and some friends have this conversation all the time. But I'm gonna let you go with that.
I mean, you know, my 3-year-old son can make beats, like, right? Like all my sons make beats.
Yeah, I see them.
Right. But that's like
what? Right? Yeah, I see them on the drum machine and that.
But not even making them special. It's just that the equipment that you have now that a child can make a beat. Like it's nothing like when I was coming up making beats. It was you really had to program. Now, the technology programs for you.
Yeah.
Right. So you can't get on a program, take a couple of loops, and it makes the beat for you, and now you're a producer. There's levels to it, right? So say for instance, Uproar, right? Wayne performed all the way through that track, from beginning to end, nonstop. No chorus, no nothing.
Yeah. He just barred.
Yeah, just went from beginning to end. Come in the studio, I'm like, okay, I like the song, but like it's missing something. Took the beginning of his verse. What the fuck though? Where the love go? 5, 4, 3, 2. I let one go. Take that piece out, chop it, place it where it needs to go, drop out. Now you have something that was from a freestyle to a hit. Like a beat maker would have just been cool if Wayne just
stop.
Just
stop.
Right?
Yeah,
the producer came in, critiqued, took the piece of the song, placed it, shipped it out.
Yeah.
It's a difference.
Yeah.
Right, and then you know, I got some footage that's coming out of the making of Echo, the song with me and Nas.
Oh man.
And you're gonna see like how it really works in the studio.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm curious to see that. Like, just off what you said, I think for me, which I tell people is what made me understand what was a producer was actually watching like old visuals of Quincy Jones in the studio, because
that's like a mega.
That's a different
That's
thing.
a different level.
But what I mean, but there's like,
that's mad.
Although like this doesn't, I hope this doesn't sound wild. Yeah, take away just who he is. I'm talking about the movement of what was going on in the studio.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not necessarily seeing him by the computer or like by a drum kit doing stuff, but I'm seeing him doing that, and you know, do this, and he's like right next to the, and he's telling them do this or do that, and like, you know, nah, this don't sound right, like move this over here, do this, do that. Then I'm like, rah, like he's really in the studio proper orchestrating. It's one thing being able to sit there and just say, oh yeah, boom, like a couple things, couple beats or whatever, but to have that ear to know, nah, this, you need to take that out. I might not know how to go on the computer and do that, but I know what sounds right. I know where that needs to be. You need to take that out. You need to put this here. You might need to take this first and put that over there. Mm-hmm. There's a whole element of orchestration in that, you know?
Big time. I mean, I've done that since day one. You know, I didn't even know what it was, or a particular title, because I never even had producers I looked up to, because DJing was the thing. It wasn't about producers.
Proper, innit?
Right? So when I came out, I like made it my business to make it about producers, and me, Pharrell, Timberland, that's, you know, and a couple of others. That's why the sound was so distinctive, because, you know, we was coming out as producers, right? And then letting people know, like, yo, the DJ is dope. I started off as a DJ, but the producer is also a part of this movement as well.
Very important.
Right? And then so, but I was always orchestrating, like I can go on other people's many albums and many songs, you know, I was a part of it. Even songs I didn't produce, I like arranged it and was like, yo, no, put this here, put that there, why is that there, turn that down, engineer, don't put this on this voice, do this right here, and leave. And head on the radio the next time, everything that I
said is gone into
is there. Right? The biggest, still to this day, right? Like when people start their albums up, they call me up to hear the tone. I just listen. I'm like, okay, what's the vibe you going for? Like even like Jay's last 444 album, right? He called me to work on it. I came in, I listened to it, and I was just like, a producer do this as well. There's no place for me on this record, right? Like you already have it. A beat maker just do anything to be on the Jay-Z song.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I'm on the 4/4 album.
No ID produced the majority of the stuff.
Yeah,
on there,
and they
right?
had a chemistry.
Yeah.
But a producer is smart enough to know, like, whoa. My sound is going to disrupt that chemistry.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it takes
100.
discipline to be a producer as well. But a beat maker is just going to jump out and not care about the sonic, the sound, no ID, it
doesn't mean anything to me.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, Jay asked me to do something, I came and did it. But as a producer, you even have to tell Jay, chill, this is done already.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's a
Great
big
album.
difference.
Yeah, that's mad. I mean, that's got, and like, yeah, I mean, how you turn down, it's nuts.
It's mad, bro. From time I heard, I broke my arm. Jay-Z, Beyonce was there. I was like, big man, when I broke my arm, my coach was there.
What is that phone call like? Because we know that, like, now, you know that it's been 15 years since the Black album come out, by the way, today. 15 years, you know. 15 years ago, Jay was retiring. It's mad to think about all of the things that he's done in between then and now. But
I'm really upset though, because on that day we just had a whole Jay-Z day where everyone came around to like my house and we just played Jay-Z all day, and we was like, oh man. And then the guy dropped another album. I was like, well, that moment was for no reason.
But like now, and not even just him, like a lot of people are kind of just a bit quiet with their projects now, and you know what I mean, just when it drops or whatever. Yeah. But what, like, when you get that call, what does that call sound like? What is it? I've got an album. What is the request? What is the request? When you got somebody of that stature ringing you, what is actually the request? Surely it's not just, I just need a beat.
Nah, I mean, you know, I've been working with Jay since his second album.
Yeah.
Right? We won a Grammy for On to the Next One together.
See it though.
It's a casual conversation, right? Because like for me, the way that I interact with artists that I work with is not just about music. It's a producer thing as well. Like beat makers that just want to talk beats. A producer is also you have to be a good person too, right? Like most people in the industry, we just like, well, because I'm not like, but they just want to call you when they need something. I called Jay on a Wednesday. Yo, everything good? You Chris? How you feeling? This, that? All right, cool. I don't want nothing. Bang. Like, so by the time it comes time to talk about music, it's just a casual conversation. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm about to start this record. When you come to LA or whatever, come check me and see if you vibing with the direction. See if you're inspired by the direction. I'm like, all right, cool. And I might not see him for another 3 months, but that conversation and that message is still passed. So when I get to LA, it's like, yo, I'm here. Where you at? Come to the crib. All right, cool. Go there, listen to some tunes. I'll play some tunes, and just do more listening than talking.
That is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that happens over here. It really does actually happen over here. Because even just the nature of, my mum always said to me, if you think of someone as a reason, so you message them. So I may not, where I want phone call, I'll just message someone just randomly out the blue, regardless if you're there. I'll just be like, yo, hope everything's okay. I just thought about you today. And that might manifest into a conversation. It might not. But then when it's time for anything that they're doing to have, they'll always say, yo, Paul, where you at, man? Come, or let's go talk, let's go for food.
I'm working on this. Or
it literally just naturally always happens. And I've never even thought about it like that. It's just
the best thing you can do in the industry is maintain your relationships. Right? Because like I've been doing my thing for a long time, not because of hit records. It's been I haven't had an album out in 11 years.
Yeah, 2007.
Yeah, right. So
she ain't got no money in the bank.
I haven't had no hits personally on my own vibes, but what's maintained me is my relationships. Right, because even without no music, I'm still maintaining relationships and friendships, and not burning them like that just because someone can't do something for me, or I don't want to do something for someone else, or I feel I'm bigger than someone else. Like sometimes you might be the bigger person in the room, but you still gotta chill. Yeah. Right. Like nobody have to kiss the ring, and that's where a lot of people go wrong. They get to this status and they feel like people are supposed to kiss their ring. Like no, man. Like fuck, we do the same thing. Right. I'm not kissing no man's ring. I don't care what status you are. Like, respect me like how I respect you. Wow. Right? So, like, sometimes, like, I wouldn't even have I turn down, like, some great music over, like, honor and respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people just feel like, oh, Swizz gonna do this just because he know what it is. That's the quickest way to make me not fuck with you. I'll be like, I know what it is. You know what it is, too. Like, I'm never gonna, like, don't talk to me.
Yeah, I hear that loud.
You know what I'm saying?
I really like that.
Yeah. So, like, there's something that I know a lot about, but I'd like you to talk about it anyway, is that, so I'm a DJ, yeah? And DJ for artists and stuff and that. One of the guys I worked closely with for a long time is Angel.
Yeah, that's my guy.
So, yeah, I was obviously around him at the time that you two connected.
Yeah.
And there's like, one day, hopefully, he'll come in, we'll have a conversation and he'll say his side stuff or whatever, yeah. But, like, I think that the story of how you two connected was quite interesting. Do you remember it?
Yeah.
And can you talk on that?
Yeah, I seen Lewis Hamilton last night, actually.
Yeah, it was through Lewis Hamilton, right? Yeah.
That's
so, like,
amazing.
yeah, so I know that Lewis Hamilton was, like, working on some music or whatever.
Yeah.
Had you, talk.
Yeah, he was writing all these amazing songs for Lewis, and then we exchanged numbers because I liked what he was doing, and I was like, yo, you know, maybe you need to do something on some different artists as well.
Now you see, this is the thing, yeah. This is your life so good that you're missing out some bits here.
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna tell a story a little bit. So boom, basically now what's happened is now bro. Lewis has rang A and said to him, boom, obviously I want you to come to New York with me or whatever. Yeah. Got the jet. Yeah. So come link me and let's jump on the jet. Yeah. So when he's come there now, Swizz is there.
Oh my
Then obviously he said so that what happened was
he didn't know.
Who? Now he didn't know that Swizz was going to be there.
What kind of surprise?
So then anyway, I know.
This
So
is
anyway, now,
mad.
so when you jumped on the jet, obviously, I think he mentioned that Lewis was tired, had went to sleep, whatever, and then you two was just around the table chopping it up.
Yeah.
And that's when I said to him, "Big man, like,
What?
you understand?"
That's
You get me, like,
bro.
So then, but then I think
That's
around
mad.
that time, Summer Jam was happening or whatever, and he said it. He told me something quite interesting as well, which I'm sure he'll talk about probably another. I know now that I'm saying this, someone's gonna interview him and get him to tell all of this. Yeah, but yeah, boom. He
You
said
got
that
to
he
keep
was
it
in-
exclusive here,
Yeah,
man.
I'm telling someone else's story. But he was saying that he was in the studio with you, and then he went out into like, because it's like some big building like where your studio is or something like that. He said he was in the kitchen. I can't remember what he said he was doing, but then he said like he saw like there was this Don walking around like in there or whatever, and the Don's come to him and said to him, "Yo, Swizz in here," and he was like, "I think he just popped out." And then when he clicked, he said it was Jay. And I'm like, "Oh my god, fam!" This
Jay,
Oh, I
who's
remember
Jay?
that.
Yeah.
There's
I
so many
remember
letters
that.
in the
Yeah.
alphabet. Well, who's Jay?
Come on,
No,
man,
this
the
is
big
mad.
homie, the big homie.
I'm going home after this, man.
Yeah.
I can't.
But
deal
now,
with
it's
this.
like,
This is amazing.
what was it like? What was it that like what was it that sort of? What did you see in him that made you gravitate to him? Because obviously,
Yeah.
you know, you must come across so many different artists all of the time. What was it about him that?
It was just the energy, you know. Like I just seen him working with Lewis. I like that he was from the streets. I like that he had the passion. I like that he had the talent. It was just like his energy was just right. You know, he had like a unique style. You know, he has like a unique style with him, and it was just super easy. It wasn't nothing forced. It wasn't like Lewis is like, "Yo, this is my guy. You have to work with him." It wasn't like we just kicked off just immediately. He actually introduced me to gigs. You know what I'm saying? So that's how me and Gigs started vibing.
That's
Through
mad.
Angel. You know what I'm saying? And then I end up, you know, helping him with his deal and different things like that. But it, like all of that stuff was just like, I didn't even want nothing from none of that stuff. You know
It just
what I'm
happened
saying? Like,
organically because
it just
everyone was
like,
cool.
Yeah, it's just like, yo, if I could help him in some type of way, just do it. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody want to get something for doing something, and like sometimes like you just do shit, just do it. Like it is like everything doesn't need like a return
You don't need a receipt for
No, of
everything.
course.
on everything. I just thought he was talented. I was like, yo, you know, any way I can help you go, just do it.
Yeah,
Because it's bigger than me at this point. Like he's already who he is.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So he just have to find and define who he is more.
Yeah.
I already know who he is. You know what I'm saying? Like he's huge. You know, but he just have to keep putting in that work. You know, like the work, the 10,000 hours is never gonna stop.
no,
Yeah.
of course not. And sometimes that's all. That's what an artist needs. They need that reassurance to know that, like, yo, like, you're gonna be okay. You know what I mean? And I can help you. I can help you maybe say the right things or do the right things or whatever it may be. So I think everyone needs a mentor to a degree, and it doesn't have to be a thing of speaking on the phone every day and doing all of that type of stuff. But you know, having somebody that has experienced so much in which you have, to have that, to be able to, you know, to get advice from is a comforting thing. Boy.
Outside of music, just to have Swizz Beats on your phone just to say hello
Yeah, it's
to
mad.
is a
I think
mad
there was one
comforting
thing-
thing.
there's one
Then he
thing that
rates you.
There's one thing that he mentioned as well, which I think that like showed a lot about your character and who you are in this game, was that same time Summer Jam was on, and like I know that you two was watching it on the TV or whatever, and then he said, yeah, afterwards, like everyone pretty much come from Summer Jam to the studio,
Yeah,
or whatever,
definitely.
to come check you and that, and like,
Yeah, it was a vibe.
yeah.
It was a vibe. Because for me, like, I have like an open door policy,
Yeah,
right? Like, I don't, you know, most people, they like block off the situations and make it like so private that it's not relatable.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's like, yo, like you can come in, anybody could come in. Like we're not scared like that. Like if you come in, you know the behavior that you need to come in on. If you don't come in on that vibe, then what can happen from that is on you. It's not on me because I have good intentions.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, yo, like you came in here with your guys and he was acting silly and he had dealt with from one of my people's. I didn't have nothing to do with that. You did that because I have like one thing is like anyone that's around me, it's protocol,
yeah,
right? It's protocol. So like I could have like, you could see like the worst people with me.
Yeah.
Right? But nothing will happen to you.
Of course.
Because like none of my guys could do anything without like the official go ahead. Okay.
They understand the setup.
Yeah, you can't, right? So a lot of people can't control people that's around them. And that's like a lot of problems that happen with artists. They get this money and then they have people around them to protect them that they scared of. Right? So you don't have no control over that person, like, right? Like, so say if it's we in this room right now and this is my guy right over here and a person walks in this door that he know I have a problem with, he's going to be tense. But my guy can't move unless I look at him and be like,
it's time.
It's just a body signal. It's a body language, right? But if I'm just like, then he got to sit there ready for whatever, just
of course.
Just but out of respect. Because he has to trust me enough to understand, like, listen, I feed everybody. I take care. Like, I know it's a certain way you got to move. The cameras, like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
100%.
You know, the only thing I won't be able to be rational about, like, nobody, like, if somebody touched me, I haven't got to the level where I could just deal with that. I don't know how to deal with that part yet, but, like,
it's very hard.
Somebody coming in your space and keeping it cool for that particular. Right? I've grown to do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what's so mad? It's funny you say that. I won't go into too much detail, but I felt I would have to struggle with that as well. And until it happened to me last week, Monday. Literally, someone in my face, I have to restrain them, and they've headbutt me.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
And the whole thing, and like throughout the whole time this is happening, I'm thinking, I'm a dad.
Yeah.
This is outside my workplace. If I do anything, there's camera phones, there's bare things happening right now. This could be a bloody mess. I'm refraining him from taking his hand out because he's got something in there that if he takes it out, it could be curtains for me. And pushed him away, walked away, and said, "You win this. Like, you win. Like this. If this is a battle that you want to win, you can win." Walked back in the car. I said, "Yeah, just drop me back to my house." And it's very hard because you've got ego, you've got pride.
The ego is the killer.
Even the guy that done it said, Poet wasn't afraid. I could see he just doesn't interest him anymore. Like I have no interest in it, and it's just like I have so much to lose.
Of course.
I look at my twin boys every day. I've got too much to lose. Like, you can have that moment. It belongs to you. You can package it. You can give it to whoever you like. I can look like the biggest pussy and the biggest prick for the rest of my life, but me being a dad means more. Me having the opportunity to sit down next to you, it means so much more than that one battle. You can have it.
That's why I don't go to clubs no more. Like, it's
long.
I always feel like
cool.
it's usually the entourage of the artist that fucks shit up a lot of the
That's
time.
what I'm saying. Why? Because the person that they're with don't respect them. Right? And I've dealt with like a couple of artists and their entourage to a point where I didn't even tell the artists that I'm working with how their entourage got checked. But I taught them a lesson as well, right? Because it was one situation where in one of my studios, I was walking upstairs and I could hear one of the younger artists that I'm working with, guys talking about jewelry that I had on, right? And they was set and all of this stuff here. But I'm coming upstairs and I hear them go back downstairs, rearrange a different type of situation, then come back upstairs, and I went right to them. I said, "Listen, man," I said, you know the reason why you're here is because this person is giving you a chance, right? You're gonna risk his life over something petty of jewelry that I have on. I was like, this is my building, right? I could have not told you that. I heard what you said.
Yeah, exactly.
And really
it could have been a whole different
and really dealt with this a different way, right? And he was like, nah, it was just like, we was just joking this. I said, yo, we don't really joke like that. Yeah. That's not really a joke when you're talking about doing something to somebody, this, that, and the third. And I know the main guy is handling what you're handling for this particular artist. I said, listen, I'm not even going to tell him, I'm not even going to bring this up to him, right? But don't risk his life like that.
Again.
Like, not even your life. Don't risk his life like that.
Loud.
Right? Because if they would have did something, he would have been done. and people don't understand the effects of what they're doing.
That's mad.
Right? You got to remove the block mentality from when you're going into a professional setting. And you can't think just because you're not on the block that the other people you're dealing with don't come from that same block. Right? So when you got a bunch of wolves with you and they go to an area that feels fresh and new, you feel like you can get away with your old tricks.
Yeah.
But there's goons everywhere. Like I remember being in Saint-Tropez and had to deal with serious things.
In Saint-Tropez?
In Saint-Tropez.
Wow, there's bare yachts and
That's
sushi
mad. I
and-
thought it was just sunshine
sushi.
and vibes. Might hear like a reggae music. You're like, all right.
Eat snails and things.
Yeah, it was try to come in there masked up, army suits on and
Serious?
everything. Yeah, for real. Like the more high you go, the more dangerous it gets.
Yeah.
That's the part that people don't tell you.
Because there's different levels of dealing with street elements in it. It's like on one level it's just bare recklessness from all over. When you get to a
When it
certain
get
point,
professional?
it starts getting organized. Man start finding out where you are,
It's
who
too
you with,
crazy.
all of that, and start organizing a whole thing, orchestrating a whole thing, a trap to set you to put you in.
You know it's serious when you need more shooters on a boat than you do on land.
That's nuts.
Okay?
That's nuts.
When it's
What?
Man's not even scared of sharks, you know. Man's scared of someone hiding in the toilets.
the
to
pirates. Like it's just it's big. Like
yeah, of course. I hear
the hood level we could deal with that. We grew up with that. That's you know what I'm saying. That's the
Pirates.
place where we have.
No, I'm not in it.
yeah.
I'm not. I've seen Pirates of the Caribbean, all three of them.
Nah,
I'm
but
not on
that's
it,
real,
cuz.
man. I watched a mad document. I'm not even going into this too much, but there was a documentary series called Kidnapped or some shit like that, and there was some people that were out on a boat, whatnot, just enjoying family time and all of that stuff. Next minute, this next boat comes up now, snatches man. Don was all kidnapped for a year and a half in I don't know, in Eritrea or some shit like that.
Eritrea,
Yeah,
East
it's mad.
Africa.
Yeah, it's mad, and there's gal there as well.
That's a
not
whole nother
what it was.
conversation.
It gets real. It gets real.
But yeah, your relationship with Angel kind of then you then had you linked up with gigs. You got gigs on the album as well. Come again. Yeah, man. Talk to me about your relationship with the landlord, man.
He's just a I just respect him on many levels.
Yeah.
You know, as a friend, as a musician, as a talent. You know, somebody that's just like in their own lane.
Yeah, proper.
And the thing, like what I loved about Giggs was he reminded me of DMX a little bit, like just like his tone.
Yeah, stylistically.
Yeah, it's just very deep, and then how he's like dark,
Yeah.
but like super cool at the same time, right? Like you could be dark, you don't have to like walk around with skulls and shit all day, right? Like X is like one of the darkest people I know, but he's also one of the most caring and giving. Like you hear dogs barking in the background.
Yeah, I was mad. I was getting paranoid. That's mad.
But yeah, you know, we just built like a good friendship, and so it wasn't even about music with us. We just happened to do it. You know what I'm saying? And then I was just like, yo, I want to put this on my record. And like I was saying, I thought it was cool because most people would come from the States over here to do a record to just stay over here.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was just like, for what? Like, the record should be on the record. It should just be a record, period. Whether it's here or over there, like, don't just categorize.
Well, you
this
know that
is
was
my
like,
UK
sorry to
vibe.
interrupt you, but that was like what was
Yeah.
happening. Like, at our point, yeah, and looking back as well, it seemed like there was elements of like disrespect towards our scene a bit in that, because there were
say
like
that.
man coming here,
Yeah.
making a song just for here, then going back over there, and then you can't hear from them again. You know, they're not saying nothing about it. There's literally nothing. It's just to come here, milk a
The
little
labels
thing.
used to tell everybody to do that. Like, oh, make that your UK version, make that you, and there wasn't no attachment to it. You know what I'm saying? And like for me, I don't know how to just make a UK version of something that I'm not familiar with or even understanding. You know, like I could have been put out versions. You know, I'm here a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I'm low, and I'm really like in the middle of it, and just vibing. So for the respect that I have, it just couldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna just do this for a UK thing. it just didn't sit right with me. You know, like even
Respect that, man.
Zion that's on my intro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
see
saying?
that.
Like
Yeah.
it's my album start off.
Yeah.
Bruv, do you know what's so mad, yeah? You see Anya? Do you know how old school she is? I've known this girl for years.
Yeah.
Years.
She mentions Tottenham on the intro.
She's from the end. She's from the same hood as me. So when I see her on the album, I found the man them like, big man, take her on the intro. To think of a girl in your end that was super cool, super trendy, everyone knew her, like mad cool, just all of a sudden on Swizz Beats' album.
Yeah, man.
I was just like, how you out here just chatting like
Yeah,
this?
when I
is mad.
started the album and I heard the English accent, I was like, what the backside's going on here?
You see, you went too far with it. I saw the track list
First.
I sent it to everyone. Everyone's like, because Anya's just one of these people. She just appears in area. Like she was with Emily Sandé. She done some work.
Yeah.
That's
We
how
were
I
like,
met her actually.
You're with Emily Sandé. Then we see her with like Anthony Joshua. You with We've given up now. I feel like I'm just gonna see her with Jesus soon and be like, no, that's 100% Jesus because she's from the ends. Cause
Man, I just told her the album title and she sent that back in like an hour.
Okay.
Like just broke down the whole vibe and the whole theme. Because when I did No Commission, my art fair out here, she performed with Emily. And it's like when she was speaking, she had like the room was just like attached. And I was like, man, you know, that form of poetry is missing in hip hop. And it's missing in music also. And I was like, I need to start the album like this.
Yeah.
And
I used to love
That's a
Jill
good
Scott
way
when she
to
said
start
that.
the album, man.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So let me just say this as well then. So we might as well talk a little bit about
Shout out,
certain
yeah.
things in the album. Yeah, shout out to her, by the way.
Zone.
Zone. Bruv, you know, there's one part in the album, yeah, that sticks with me the most. I'm a words man. I'm a words man. I'm a feelings guy as well. Yeah. So there's little things that can just happen and I feel it in a different type of way. And in Echo, when you start it, one of the things you say is, you say, the zone that I'm on is the zone of our own. And I just kept rewinding that because I felt that.
Facts.
The zone that I'm on is the zone of our own. Talk about that.
Man, because like, you know, at the end of the day, the frequency of the universe is our zone, right? And then it's like, once you tap into that, it's lights out. So I was, you know, reflecting back on what I felt in Egypt as well.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Right? It was deep. I never did a poetry line in my life or a flow like that in my life, but it just came out of how I was feeling at that particular time, and it was just like the zone of I'm on is a zone of our own.
Yeah, it sounded like that actually. It just sounded like
it
he was
just
kind of
was
in a
like-
mad.
It was just something to say at the time.
it
Yeah, it was just coming out. It was just coming out naturally of what I was feeling. But like everybody need to stay in their own zone.
Yeah, of course.
I agree.
Exactly. And that's exactly how I feel as well, man.
Yeah.
And even like
Apart from
when
in the underground.
Exactly.
The zones are not ours. They're
But
like
even
six.
then, when I'm like, when I'm at my happiest, then I'm whatever vibe. It's like that comes from within me, and my circle around me and that as well. And when I'm around that, I just feel like this is a zone of our own as well.
Facts.
Like, it just feels good. You know, you're talking about the cologne and I like you seem like you were just in a proper vibe there, man.
I was dressed up that day.
Is it? Yeah. yeah. It felt like that. It felt like that. You said, "No, just one of the greatest. Can we get a cheers?" And it just sounded like you was like either like in that moment or recreating a moment.
In that moment, at that time, with real glasses, real double-breasted, like everything you heard, it was that moment.
That's beautiful,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful.
And the Little Wayne tune. When I'm sitting there, I'm listening to this, right? I'm saying, all right, boom. I remember there was talk, Lil Wayne's got an album coming out, whatever. And a lot of people were saying, oh, does he still have it? You know, all of that stuff, yeah? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and act like I've been a Wayne fan my whole life.
Yeah.
It's just been maybe, I'd say,
Carter Free.
yeah, around that.
A lot of people started Carter Free.
Well, maybe a little bit before, just around that, but not like way back or whatever, yeah. So when he came back and I heard the album, I'm like, yeah, the album's cold still. It sounds like he's like showing everyone, hold on a minute, now, I'm still a barrers, like I can still do this thing.
Facts.
But it made it even more certified when I listened to the tune on the album. The man just sounds like no one's colder than me when it comes to this thing. That's the vibe that he's on.
What? Which one? The up
first,
row or
no, not up
pistol,
on his
pistol,
on
pistol on my
so-
side chick.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I remember
yeah.
seeing the video. The
The
video was
flow.
the next
It's the
thing.
flow. It's the flow as well.
Round
It's also
Bad still.
it's also the producing. Like,
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
gotta know
100%.
how to bring that out of Wayne.
Yeah.
Bro, you had this piano playing at one point, and I said, "What's going on?" When I watched the video, it's Alicia Keys. I said, "There's a different world that I don't know nothing about, bro."
Oh, I ain't seen the video. Yet.
Haven't you? You got Alicia Keys playing the piano. Fire. Because Donnie's in a skater outfit. I said, "Yo."
The piano comes in like towards the end as well,
Yeah.
don't it? It's like it brings that out.
Yeah, she
and
just,
go for it.
Yeah, she just came in the studio and just did it. I didn't even ask her. She just was like
In the crib.
Not in the studio.
Oh, okay. I thought the studio was in the crib as well. You know what I mean? Okay.
I don't like using the studio in the house.
Oh, okay.
I
Fair.
want to go out to work.
Yeah, fair.
Right? It's like, I don't know. I just feel lazy if I'm in the house in the studio.
Yeah.
Like you want to go out, then go in to the studio work, and then go home.
Yeah.
The process.
That feels different.
Yeah.
But she just jumped on the record. I was like, all right, you on the record. I need you to be in the video. You going to be in the video? She was like, I'll think about it. And
Oh, serious?
Think about it, yeah.
Nah, she comes so swaggy. You need to watch the video because that was my introduction to knowing there was a project. Like, I didn't know there was going to be a project at all. So my camera boy cameo over there. We just usually just sit down, have a conversation, and then we just put on the screen, boom, and then we saw. We're like, what? Wayne's got a new song. We haven't heard Wayne in time, and I'm fighting Wayne's corner, but I was like, oh, Wayne, you making it hard for me because I'm not even rating some of these things, man. Then I've watched this. Bro, it was the greatest introduction to me finding out that Wayne's dropping a new project because it was like
it set his project off.
It set it so well. Like, so I don't feel like anyone else could have done that for him. That was like, it had to be Swizz, it felt like.
It was all the timing.
Bro, and the video is really good.
The video's sick.
Like, it's really, it's levels.
Check that still.
Levels.
I think as well, like, I was having a conversation with someone else who was talking about, like, your production and stuff, yeah? And saying that there's like an element of some producers who, like, for me, it's like they have a style of producing that where you don't necessarily have to reinvent it. Like, you just do like other things to maybe change elements of it up or whatever, and you can do that. It's like a thing that just lasts the test of time or whatnot. And I was like, Swizz is one of them. But then I listened back to One Man Band because I wanted to like hear like how different the production was from then to now. And for me, I feel like it's those elements with the piano and the elements of it feeling a bit bigger.
Facts.
Feeling a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Do you talk on that?
Yeah. I just feel I have more patience now. Like before, I was just like speeding to my destination, but not knowing my surroundings. Like now, I'm more like I care a little bit more too, and it's just like. Plus, like I know people want to say like what sounds the same or what sounds this, but it's a catch-22, right? Because the minute I switch up, which I can do in 2 seconds, people are like, but where's this? I need the Swizzy sound, right? So they want it, but then they don't want it. So I have to figure out a way to finesse the middle point, right? Like, so Pistol on my side, it's the drum beat that's going to connect you to me, but then the other elements of live is going to represent the graduation of where I'm at, right? Because people that keep you in the same, people that make me produce Stop Drop since it's first dropped, right? But if you listen to those, I mean, it definitely was a banger. But I can't still be producing Stop Drop today.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, we're selfish. Us consumers. I'm like that sometimes. I'll be like, he needs to go back to the old stuff, man. These times I'm a different person.
Yeah, exactly.
All live will change. I'm not even appreciating that. So
things like, and I guess even, am I right in saying, does this happen with producers? Yeah, where it's not even that you can't, like, you could recreate the sound and stuff like that, but it's not only just the sounds change, but your life and your experiences have changed.
Super
and
facts.
Sometimes your life and experiences still go into your music and your production as well.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's all a feeling for me. Like I'm making beats in the car right now. Like, it's just
Yeah.
You know,
this is mad.
When I just, like, for me, I'm just like like I'm really on the court right now.
Yeah.
Right. So the last couple of years I wasn't on the court, even though you would hear a song here, things would come out. Like now I'm in like very competitive mode. You know, I got 3 more albums coming back to back right after Poison.
Man.
And I'm just in war mode right now.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So like it's different modes that I'm in musically. I haven't been in this mode musically in like 11 years.
Right.
So now like you're gonna see a lot of different. Like my next album is an R&B album.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Beauty and the Beats. It's gonna. Then the next album after that is Return to the Showtime, which is all energy.
Yeah.
Only energy. Like so, imagine like Party Up and Uproar had a baby.
Okay.
Just all energy. Then the next album after that is Global Mindset with all the international artists, Burna Boy, you name it, right?
Oh man.
Just all of those things instead of trying to cram all of this into one album.
Yeah.
Right? I made different categories.
Because sonically, it wouldn't fit.
It wouldn't fit.
Sound right.
Yeah, because like, and that's why I said I took all of these different things off my record.
Yeah.
Right? And it's kind of like, I knew the record could be bigger, everything could be bigger, but it's not about that.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of big things already. So now it's having the discipline to actually honor your craft.
Word.
You know, so like that's been like the whole discipline. Because I'm like, man, I could put this one song out and kill everything.
Yeah.
But it's not even about that shit sometimes.
Couple more things, yeah. Have you got any special failures? Like, have you got any failures that like that mean something to you? That if that didn't happen, you know, your perspective might not have been how it was, or this scenario might not have happened, or this project may not have happened, or like, do you have any failures that are special to you that you will always remember and look back on?
All my failures. I look back at all my failures are things I look back on because I embraced them, right? Which is kind of weird because I don't even look at them as failures, right? Because if you learn from what you thought you failed from, you actually didn't fail.
Got a lesson,
right? So like a lot of the different things, like I'm trying to like think of something to give you an example of. But like, for instance, like I got kicked out of all my schools, but then I graduated from Harvard.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like all of those things were failures, but they were lessons that I was even able to like get the strength to go back and correct those particular things that was once a failure, or you know, particular things with music, like certain songs might not have done what I felt they should have done, right? But then you take that and then just make a better one. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So really go into like, yo, what made this song not work? And just test yourself to just correct it, like on it. Even if it's like the next 3 songs, clean that up. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, the thing with music is like, one song will clean you all the way up. Right? Like you can be cold for 20 years, like, and like Wayne could have been cold for 20 years,
got uproar,
and it's just like life changes at that particular second, right? And uproar did change Wayne. It changed me as well because like now, this youth and this generation have something that they could pull from and reference of me. So like all of the artists that's calling me now to work, we wouldn't probably have this dialogue. And these are all of the young, hot artists say like, yo, I need something to switch up like how you did with Wayne. I need something like how you made Young Thug rap like how you had him rap on 25 Soldiers. And so it's like cool to just use like things that you thought you was failing at or failed and use it as like as energy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like use your failures as your pull-up bar and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Word.
You know, level up on every time.
Fam, listen, bro.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, very happy that you came, bro. Like to sit down with man, and like I feel like very appreciated that you come here and done this. There was one thing I really wanted to talk to you about, but I know you've got to go. And hopefully the next time you come here at some point we can have this conversation.
Yeah.
But I did want to have a conversation differently about like investments and like money management and how you learnt these things.
Definitely.
Because I think that like it's important to have them conversations too. There's a lot of people right now. The scene's proper thriving over here. There's a lot of people making a lot of money over here now,
Big time.
but not necessarily knowing what to do with their money, and not necessarily knowing anything about money management. And it's key, because as much as I want to see all of these people successful or whatever, I want people to be able to sustain a certain lifestyle so that they can look after themselves, they can look after their friends, as opposed to having those moments of, you know what, like this year I was smashing it, I had bare dough and all of that, and now I don't even have shit because I didn't even know and nobody told me nothing. Do you get me? So them kind of things are quite important conversations to have. But hopefully one day we'll be able to do that and get your perspective from it. But my G, bro,
thank you, man.
Thanks so much, bro.
I really appreciate
Thanks,
it.
man.
I really appreciate it, bro, man.
Yes.
Swizz Beats, everyone.
Zone.